All right, welcome back to Energy Boom 101. I'm probably talking a little louder than normal because we've got Reginald Dwight in the background. That's EJ putting the hurt on Philadelphia Freedom. I think it's 2014, and I'm pretty sure it's Tuesday, and I know it's January, so it's about the 28th, something like that. This is Energy Boom 101, where the confluence of crude and cannabis meet. That's all just sort of inevitably emerging. And here at Energy Boom 101, we're just hoping to keep up with it and tell the story. But basically, it's the story of the United States energy boom, which involves crude oil, and this is a great map of that. And there's Hank Ham's unbelievable mug right there. And then cannabis. And that's sort of a good idea of what's going on. You're well aware of Colorado and Washington's next, but here's the good news. Looks like Florida's going to adopt the big green. And pretty soon here, we'll be able to connect crude and consciousness via cannabis, one gusher at a time. The first thing I want to talk about, since we are going to discuss cannabis, is that the hydro hat trick on Wall Street had mixed results. CBIS, which is Cannabis Science Kids, I think it finished up about 3%. But you want to check out the volume for the day. It was enormous. 80 million shares. Give me a break. Average shares of 2 million. And it still holds its ground. So I'm still happy to be CBIS long, even though I haven't invested a dime in them. But I would if I had a dime. That would get me, hell, it'd get me 2 shares, maybe, or half a share. Anyway, so CBIS finished up strong today. MJNA, which is medical marijuana, I think it dropped in the negative today. And then PHOT, which is Grow Life, I think it dropped as well. By the way, you've got Kansas behind you, and you may have the bells of boom you ahead of you, so prepare yourself. But that's a quick overview that in the cannabis industry today, and this is the year-to-date performance, which, by the way, is amazing. Year-to-date, 2014, over the last 25 days, basically, cannabis science has gone up 200%, medical marijuana has gone up 180%, and Grow Life has gone up 40%. Now, don't kid yourself; it can't sustain this this surge forever. But it does appear that we are in the middle, not in the middle, but we are in a hyper-growth phase. And we don't know how long that'll last, but we're very excited about it because it could last for a long time. And what we want to do now, since we're only at about, 2.5 minutes into the hour, and we got Kansas behind us, is we want to move our way out here, do a little quick checkup with Boom U Skyline, see if anything has changed. Nothing's been added in the last day. It'll take them longer than a day to put up new equipment, but trust me, it will happen over time. Also, prepare yourself. Sometimes you get a little what we call the bubble and buzz of Boom U going down this alleyway here. Pretty crazy stuff. Nice little coffee house over there. Oh, the mothership appears to be descending upon Boom U. That's always nice. But while we're here, which is why we're always here, and no one knows, and Barack Obama seems to be channeling my spirit as we speak. I don't know why. I should probably... Oh, there's why. Today's Wall Street Journal, the front page right there, Obama to face an unsettled nation. Yes, we're an unsettled nation. But you know what's going on here. All we do is grab the Wall Street Journal, we grab the Daily Oklahoman, and we simply look for articles about oil, about energy, which is either oil and natural gas liquids, and liquefied natural gas, etc., etc. Thanks the world that shell. But also about cannabis, which is the other form of energy, because we think that, by the way, that was a fireman's blow you just heard, which is amazing. I haven't done that in 20 years. But it was required, so I apologize. But we think here at EB 101, Energy Boom 101, EB 101, that there's an energy boom going on, and we simply want to try and tell the story as it happens. And then as you learn about it and learn to trade and invest, then you can decide if you want to do that. But it's a glorious challenge, and trust me, I've failed every time, so don't listen to what I'm having to say. But let's go ahead and let's start this excursion because, you know, we're at about 4 minutes. And let's just grab the Wall Street Journal, and let's just go through it and see what we can find today. Now while I'm going through this thing, I'm going to let you sort of look at it here. Obama, unsettled nation. I don't see anything yet, so you guys check out the Sarkey's Energy Center. And that's also sort of a nice framed shot right there. You know, very reminiscent of what, Nagel, 1980s, greatest artist ever, bar none. Now, let's see here. Okay, going to page 2, kids, and I got to tell you, so far, I'm not seeing anything on any real energy here. So I'm going to go on to page 3, and I'm not seeing a whole lot. So here we go on to page 4. Not a whole lot. Page 5. There's something about the farm, and there's State of the Union, something from Fox and Bling. DirecTV's got an ad. That's nice to see. The World News. Oh, by the way, Buffalo Springfield in the background, if you can hear that. It's a good one. So far, no huge deals on energy. And we're just going to keep looking. Oh, man, the Ukraine. Y'all remember that. You know the story about that. There's the Ukraine right there. They're in the middle of a tug-of-war betwixt East and West. And Vladdy Poo wants to keep them as a huge, huge energy customer, because Russia still needs to be able to sell their natural gas and oil to somebody, because the United States is knocking the son of a bitch out of the ballpark. By the way, the patented pivot spin to the right now. You can see what's going on out there as the sun sets and the mothership descends upon Boom U. Once again, the Hotel California look of Boom U. But anyway, we were talking about the Ukraine. We'll wrap it up right there. Vladdy Poo is trying to keep the Ukraine, obviously because he wants allies for his political beliefs, as well as the fact that he needs huge customers for his natural resources, because the world right now is being divided basically between East and West. On energy, and it sure looks like the United States is going to sort of show everyone how to get it done. But let's get back here to the paper. That's all we're going to give you on the Ukraine. There is something here in Argentina. You know I love Argentina for a couple reasons. One, WPX, which is Williams basically out of Tulsa, basically owns APCO Oil and Gas, which is a little teeny driller down in Argentina. And they have potential to, in my opinion, return to their share price of $90 a share. They're currently trading at 15. You do the math, pretty good spread. Now, will it ever happen? Who knows? Who cares? But it's a great story to follow. And that's happening in Argentina. So anytime there's an article about Argentina, you know, that definitely has something to do with energy, because Argentina has enormous reserves, enormous shale reserves, by the way. Let's see, but I'm gonna keep going here, because once you know, all we're doing is just keeping it real. That's what we're doing with the kids today. Oh shit! Now here's something I'm just gonna mention, even though it has nothing to do with energy. I want you to look at this. This is an advertisement, not advertisement, advertisement in the Wall Street Journal, and it's called The Great Courses, which is this great series of books they put together. And this baby's called Mind Body Medicine: The New Science of Optimal Health. Which, by the way, is probably so incredibly obvious you wouldn't imagine it. I gotta tell you, you know what, that's it, boom, we're doing a special on an advertisement in the Wall Street Journal, and that'll happen later. But that's something we've uncovered, because that book is probably amazing. By the way, there's also Supertramp going on, so that's pretty incredible. Let's see, so far I'm not seeing a whole lot else about energy. We've come across the Ukraine, we've come across Argentina. Let's see. Yeah, and then of course we've found that lovely series of books, and the one that's called The Mind-Body Connection, and we'll go over that. That definitely deserves its own episode. Now let's move on to the second section of the Wall Street Journal. Here it is, kids. It's really a very well laid out paper. Simple, pretty, and by the way, the writing is excellent. I'll say that. Let's see. Boy, that's a beautiful picture right there, by the way. Ethanol exporters search for a port. No shit. We don't want that shit around here much longer. Apple iPhone sales. We don't care about that, although we love Apple. Hey, look at this, kids. Quentin Tarantino's in the Wall Street Journal. God bless him. He's probably doing a movie with Rupert Murdoch. By the way, if I'm dead in a week, you'll know that Rupert found me. And I'm not talking about Rupert from Family Guy. Caterpillar, pass for mining, China's BYD to pay, now Honda, U.S. car exports hit high, AT&T, theaters. All right, let's keep moving here. We're walking, we're talking, we're feeling good. Now you're keeping your eye on Boom U here, right? Because at any moment, we could add a new skyscraper, a new building. It'll be a new building. It'll be some kind of new building, whether it's academic or whether it's a dormitory, but there will be a building of some sort. And it's going to have an energy name after it, I bet you. Let's see here. Well, oh, I do know this. Thursday, Exxon reports earnings. That would be great to listen to. Not to look at the numbers, but to look at what they have to say about the future. Because that's where they're incredibly sharp. I'm guessing. I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing they're incredibly sharp. U.S. Steel was hit by restructuring. Rural Caribbean, steel makers, more steel makers. Come on, give me some energy here. Yeah, I gotta tell you, kids, so far, when we hit the 10-minute hour, we're not seeing a whole lot more energy so far, and we're gonna move on to the third section, that's money and investing, and we'll see if we can find anything in here. In the meantime, we'll probably do a second episode separately on the Oklahoman, so we'll probably do an episode per paper. And this, so far, I'm not seeing a whole lot of energy stuff. And this will probably be the last legitimate section, because the next section in the Wall Street Journal is the personal journal. No one gives a frog's fat ass, although that's not true. There's probably a lot of good stuff in there. Let's see here. Coal prices. Short positions, that's always sort of fun to look at. This is always a fun thing to look at. The largest short positions, that's a great thing to look at. So Sirius Satellite Radio, by the way, even though it went from 3 pennies to $3 a share, still has the largest short position, but that's because it's so enormous, so don't let that worry you. Nothing else I see in there that really jumps out at me, but what the hell do I know? I went broke trying to buy GMX. If they're out there, by the way, help me out. You know, I thought you guys were going to make it happen. It's not your fault. We all did our best. I suffered the same delusion. I can't even open this paper, but hang with me here half a second. By the way, eventually we're going to move this thing over to just radio, I would imagine. Percentage gainers, that's always a good thing to look at in the paper. Oh, shit! Here's a big one for oil news. Percentage gainers, today's Wall Street Journal. There's YPF South America, which is Spain's oil company that was expropriated by Argentina and has since settled. Argentina gave him $5 billion in bonds, and this thing moved today. She's moving. That may be legit. I don't know. Don't worry about it. Do your own homework, kids. Percentage losers for the day. I don't see anything that really jumps out at me. And then volume movers, that's sort of fun to look at, but I don't see anything there. So really today what we've been able to see so far is the big move in YPF South America, which is Spain's sort of subsidiary oil company, and what they're doing. And for some reason they got cooking. So there's probably big global news, I'm sure, somewhere that affects that. I can tell you that we are now about to go all the way through. We are now through with the Wall Street Journal, other than the personal journal, which isn't going to have anything to tell us. So what we found in today's Wall Street Journal was the Ukraine is still in a tug of war. And Argentina seems to be sort of on a roller coaster, to say the least, but will be a great country to watch as they have enormous shale reserves. And also that BoomU has not erected any new buildings yet, but they will. And I think we'll shut it down on this, and then we'll do a second episode on the Oklahoman, because they'll have a ton of energy articles. But this is Energy Boom 101, and I don't know if there's anything else big important to say today, other than it is Tuesday, January 28th. Oh, I know. Since we were going to talk some about bringing in the confluence of crude oil and cannabis, I'm going to respectfully request that the BoomU School of Business, Mikey Price School of Business, look into the 420 index that the gentleman writes about for Seeking Alpha, and consider it as a valuable investment with a variety of returns. The first of which is financial, but then there's also emotional and a million others, and we'll get into that. But it's the Transparent Barrel's view that the long-term trend to support investment in cannabis is set, and the cat is out of the bag, and it ain't ever going back in. And that the United States is going to enjoy over the next 5, 10, 15 years a red, white, and blue renaissance built upon a variety of pillars, but the two that we're going to talk about are crude oil and cannabis. And we're going to watch them get traded every day on Wall Street, and we're going to see if we can figure out what the hell's going on. And that is it for Energy Boom 101, and this is Dispatch from the Patch 9,372. See ya.